News on channel jaylee Sarah 5.
1D News. Zayn is thought of cheating on Little Mix's Perry Edwards with Selena Gomez.
Seems to be Zayn is asking Justin Bieber for advice in this position.
Ross Lynch News.
Ross and his siblings, Riker, Rydell, Rocky Lynch.
Also, his friend Ellington Ratliff are making a music video for their new song,
Loud.
Katy Perry News. Katy Perry has a twin. Well, not really.
It's a wax figure that she made to get out of things.
She says that when she doesn't want to do something, she sends her on the way.
Because she has an identical version of her.
Taylor Swift News.
Taylor claims to be country, but if you heard her new music, she's definitely not.
Her music songs, 22, I Knew You'd Trouble, and Red are totally not country.
In fact, her non-country song, I Knew You Were Trouble, is all about hairstyles.
Every Directioner knew it was coming.
I'm a Directioner, and I saw that coming.
Demi Lovato News. Demi Lovato has her album Unbroken already out.
New song Heart Attack has been on the most uploaded songs on iTunes.
I'm very emotional and I express my feelings in live in this album, says Demi.
And before we go, we have some questions to ask. Would you rather lick your best friend's toe or drink your best friend's spit?
Or get your hair shaved all off, or drink 5 bottles of mustard. And that's it for today. Enter your comments and about your would you rather
in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Jaylee.
And you're watching channel jaylee Sarah 5. Have a nice day.